Good evening, good evening, good evening. That's 3 good evenings. Right, so thanks for joining us again for another live stream. Oh, hang on a sec, I've got to turn my light on. That's better, so you can actually see me. So, it's following on from last week. I was talking about equalization and everything you need to know about equalization. I kind of condensed it down, and I did mention a few exercises that you can do dry and in water, and particularly I was talking about bedtime stretches, and I was talking about use of the bombilla and the ETT, which are all covered in the videos we've done before. I also put a link in the description for those videos. So last week when I was talking about that, I listed these 3 things that can limit a dive, and I promised that I'd go over the other 2 today. So these are the 3 things. There are only 3 things that can limit your dive. 3 things that will make you kind of come back or turn around. And all of your training, every bit of your free dive training, is trying to develop these 3 things. That's it. But weirdly enough, all of these are just symptoms. Okay, these are all just symptoms. So you've really got to be aware that somebody comes back from a dive, or you come back from a dive. Why did you stop? Couldn't equalize. Why couldn't you equalize? So your equalization stops, but then you have to ask, why couldn't you equalize? Otherwise, you've got nothing to practice, nothing to develop. Right? You come back and somebody says, why'd you turn around? Well, why'd you come back? Oh, I felt that I was at the end of my breath hold. Okay, why were you at the end of your breath hold? Because you swam down too fast. You weren't as efficient in your finning technique as you could be. Or what was it that took up your breath? And most of the time, actually, it's the thought process. You're thinking about things, your brain's burning up a lot of O2, and your breath hold's going to suffer from this. And so your question, why was your breath hold short? And then the answer is because I was thinking about too many things. And this is the issue. One of the issues I have with the way courses are advertised, not the way the courses are run, but the way most courses are advertised. You go on a course, 2-day course, and they give you a certificate saying you can freedive. You are this level freediver. But it's impossible that you can be that level of freediver. They've taught you some stuff and you've done some exercises, but to actually kind of develop the skills, practice the skills, get them in your subconscious takes a long time. Takes time and repetitive. You have to repeat it. So eventually you're not thinking about what you're doing, and you can do it much more efficiently and cut down the breath hold. Okay, and that's what usually limits your breath hold. And the third one is fear. Now, fear is a very interesting one, and it's also that it's the hardest for people to it's quite hard to see, but it's really hard for people to admit. So 99% of the time, the missing thing with all of these is honesty. Okay, 99% of the time, honesty is missing. Okay, and how do you get honesty into your diving so that you can recognize these things? And I've seen so many times when people come back and, oh, why'd you stop? Oh, I couldn't equalize. Okay, fine, and that's it. It's all over. So it's a easy. One size fits all. I couldn't equalise. Fine, we can't argue with that. Then, if you couldn't equalise, that's fine. Yeah. But as we've said, as I've said today, and I'll keep saying, it's a symptom. Well, why couldn't you equalise? Now, I can ask somebody, well, what was stopping you equalising? What was the thing that stopped you equalising? And realistically, unless I'm actually their coach, doing a one-to-one lesson, I don't care what the answer is. It's more of me asking, well, why couldn't you equalise? So that they can answer themselves, so that they can go away and practice whatever it was. And that requires honesty. And I say, I've seen with, when I've been around other people, way too often, equalising is, oh, I couldn't equalise. Okay, fine. No honesty there at all. People just put out that the equalisation just as a statement of why they couldn't dive, and then everybody accepts it. And that means that honesty is missing. Okay. So let's say 99% of the time, the missing link is honesty. And that's what you pay for a good coach. That's what a good coach is. A good coach will be honest with you, or get you to be honest. Of course, there's always the devil there, kind of rearing its head. That people can be, oh well, yeah, I couldn't equalise. I swallowed my mouth full. I couldn't do this. It's fine. I can normally do it. I can normally do that depth. That's fine. But that's just not being honest. That's just ego getting in the way. The trouble is with honesty is, in today's society, a good coach will be honest, and a good coach will push you to be honest. Unfortunately, in today's society, there's quite a lot of places that just sell more courses, sell a course, another course, do another course. What you need to be a better freediver, you need another course. And I'm telling you now, 99.8% of the time, another course is not what you need. Another course will not make you a better freediver. The course will cover certain things, but how can a set course, the off-the-shelf course, fit everybody who's got to that kind of, everybody who's done their level 2, 2-star, whatever it is? Well, to be a better freediver, you need this set of skills. It doesn't make sense. Okay, for you need to work on this or that, or your finning, or your alignment, or your balance, all these things which the individual needs to work on to become a better freediver. Yes, a course will teach you more stuff, and some of it will help you, but 99% of the time, another course won't make you a better freediver. Unfortunately, that's how most people make money in freediving, by selling another course, It's very, very easy to sell another course, another tick box, another certificate, another chunk of money. Whereas really, in freediving, coaching is what you need. You need a coach to help you individually develop yourself. Because there are only three things. There are only three things that you can train on. Okay, so let's cut down into this a little bit more. Let's have a look at fear. So fear, let's explain what I mean when we come to these things. For instance, fear. So you may be scared of a lot of things. You may be scared of fish. You may be scared of sharks. You may be scared of the dark. You may be scared of being deep. You may be scared of running out of breath. You may be scared of blacking out. And everybody has a fear when it comes to freediving. You may be scared of your friends laughing at you. Not your friends. If they laugh at you, they're not your friends. You may be scared of people, laughing at you. Ego. Well, is that ego? No, no, that's not ego. No, that's not ego. That's just you don't want people laughing at you. Nobody wants that. Okay, so that's why we dive for friends, because friends don't laugh at you. Friends laugh with you. Okay, so you could be scared of anything, and everybody's scared of something. Could be scared of the cold, especially diving in England. You go down, it's going to be cold. Oh man, I don't want to be cold. Oh man, I'm going to hit that thermocline. Oh, it's going to be cold. And it takes quite a lot of soul searching sometimes to find out what you're scared of. Okay. If you're scared of the dark, and I don't mean like scared of the dark, scared of the spiders, scared of the dark, scared of the boogeyman in no park. No, I mean when you're going down and genuinely you can't see the rope in front of you because it's so dark. That's quite a scary place to be when you're alone holding your breath. It's completely, I get it. I totally get it. And that can make you turn. Okay, so the fear itself, I don't like being here. I'm not enjoying being here. I'm turning. I am turning. I remember I had that feeling when I was on my first couple of competitions, 20 years ago now. And I remember it was Howard Jones's competitions down in Portland, and not Portland, Plymouth, and I went, well, there's safety divers, there's all the things set up here. Like if there's any time that's going to be safest, it's now. Now, if you watch the other videos, you'll see how unsafe it was back then, but we didn't know that, obviously. And I went, well, I've got this, it's going to get dark and I'm not going to be able to see the rope, and I'm going to just have to kind of touch the rope and kind of get to the point where the weight is and touch the weight. And then I did it. And I think this was one of the first times that I kind of went, hang on a sec, and really looked at why am I not going down, why am I not getting the tag on these dives before the competitions? Because I'm scared, because it's damn dark down there. Well, this is, I've got safety and I've got set up, and this is a time to do it. So the fear itself can make you turn. And you can overcome it by logically overcoming or practicing it or doing it time and time again. But equally well, fear could just lead to tension. Okay? So this quite happens in competition. You've inscribed your depth. Oh no, tomorrow it might be a bit wavy tomorrow, and I'm a little bit. Yeah. It's not going to make you turn necessarily if there's waves. The fear isn't going to do that, but it will give you tension. And what happens when you get tension? It burns up O2. So that means your breath hold is going to be cut. Remember, there's only 3 things that can make you turn. Fear, it makes you turn. Burning up oxygen will, instantly chop your breath hold in half. But equally, if you're going down, you're a little tense, thinking, "Oh man, this is not where I want to be. It's dark, it's cold, whatever it is." You're not going to be able to equalize. Okay? So this is why fear is really interesting, because fear can make you turn. Can be the limit of the dive is the fear itself of the dark or the cold. But it can also fear can then create tension that destroys your breath hold, or can stop you equalising just because you're tense up. Okay, so there's your three limits: equalization, breath hold, and fear. But fear can then lead to the others. Okay? And this is where the honesty comes in. You've got to really sit and think about, why did I turn? And next stop, what can I do to improve that situation? Right? Does that make sense? I hope it makes sense. Okay, so last week, I think it was Darren asked, what about fitness? Fitness can stop you, stop a dive. Yes, it can, but only because the fitness is going to impact your breath hold, okay, or tension. Okay, so if you're more efficient to run your muscles at like 60%, so get reasonably strong by working out, doing exercises, and then on the dive day pull it back so your muscles are running about 60% and much more efficient. Having said that, it's not indefinite. You can't go and bodybuild and be really like massive muscles and then run at 10% of your muscle capacity. That's not efficient either, because the muscles are burning up oxygen just being there. Right? That's why you tend not to get deep freedivers who are really kind of like Olympic sprinters, like really muscly. Okay, you want enough strength to be able to run at like 60%, maybe 70% of your full power. So you don't want to be like working a monofin and, oh man, this is really hurting monofin, because then you're going to be inefficient. Muscles are not working efficiently, but you don't want too many muscles. Okay, so fitness will play a big part in that. Yeah. Equally well, fitness kind of goes with efficiency of movement, and obviously you're going to train to become efficient at freediving, so fitness comes in there. An efficient movement, you need to practice, you need to drill, and this is what I said right at the beginning about giving a certificate after a 2-day course. That's not for me. Okay, for me, it's about practicing and drilling those techniques so that they become efficient. Right? Equally, as well as that, you become confident. Okay, confident because you've done that movement, that dive, that whatever, time and time again. You've got that confidence. You know you can do it, which will lead to relaxation. So fitness and training, bring it back into that, kind of into the fitness and training come together to build up that confidence. So practice. Confidence comes from practice, that you've done it because you've done it before, but equally well, and this is where no tanks training comes in, we don't just practice on a line, on a one thing, time and time again. Not only is it really inefficient to practice that way, muscle memory and training wise, muscle development wise, or breath hold development wise, but equally well, if you train doing other things, you build up a confidence about if something changes. If you always dive on a line which is always perfectly straight, perfect, then the day that one of the markings, like the little tape, they have markings that come off, it can catch on your lanyard. And if you've always dived on a perfect rope that's set for you, so you don't have any markings on it, and your lanyard slides up and down perfectly, on competition day when you're using competition line, and one of those little tape things come, and your lanyard snags, you'll be like, oh, what's going on? That's it. Oh, the dive's over. It's not. It's just going to go past. But if you've practiced with a lanyard, in situations without a lanyard, if you've practiced with a lanyard, that's a bit rough, on a bad rope, good rope, if it's you won't even think about it if it snags. You're just, snags. Okay? This is why it's super important not to just monosticular, single training, like up and down a rope, or in a swimming pool, up and down a swimming pool, because you need the variations not only to make the efficiency in the training development rather, but equally well so you can be aware and change your dive if things change during, the dive, the actual dive you're training for. Okay. So the live stream, this live stream is called "What Are You Trying to Do?" What are you trying to do? Going back to your training, what are you trying to do? What's your training for? You're trying to develop those 3 things. And we've got 10 aspects in the No Tanks training, and we can instantly draw a line between those aspects, so the mental before, mental after, physical, specific, stressed and unstressed breath hold. They're in the other videos. And all of those aspects all go down to those 3 things that will eventually limit your dive. Okay? So in your training, you've got to ask yourself, what the heck are you doing? Why are you doing it? So I've seen people doing breath hold chin-ups. Why are you doing it? Because it's really hard work. But you don't use these muscles when you're free diving. Even free immersion, you're using your lats and you're using turning motion. You're not using this. So what the heck are you doing? Oh, it's hard work. Yeah, it is hard work, but it's no use. It doesn't help you free dive. Yeah. So you've always got to think, what am I trying to do? Why am I trying to develop it? What's my limiting factor? People buying fantastic, expensive monofins. Why are you buying that expensive monofin? Now, if you say, because it looks good, that's fine. Like, if you buy an expensive monofin because it looks good, then it looks good. But if you say, well, it's going to get me deeper. Well, it's only going to get you deeper if equalization isn't the limiting factor in your dive. It's only going to get you deeper if you're not scared of the dark. It's only going to be a little bit easier, efficiency-wise. So, if your breath hold's a bit short, if your breath hold's a limiting factor, then an expensive glide monofin will, in fact, get you deeper. Right? But if your equalization's, it's unlikely to make you any deeper. Yeah. Buying a sleek suit and wearing a neck weight, why is that going to get you deeper? Well, because it's easier, isn't it? Because it lines it. Yeah, well, it is easier. But if equalization's your issue, if darkness is your issue, then it's not going to help at all. Why are you buying that suit? Well, because it looks good. Well, that's fine. I'll give you that. If it looks good, man, look, it's meant to be that way around so you can see it's Sea Shepherd. But I don't never drink with the left hand. Complaint to Sea Shepherd. Put the printing on the other side of your cup. Okay. So how do you do this? How do you get around these problems? Well, number 1 is honesty. Okay? I've said it before. I'll say it again. Honesty is your key. Okay? And relaxation is what you're aiming for. When I say relaxation, we usually mean release of tension. Okay? How do you release that tension? Well, if you aim for enjoyment rather than depth and a number, if your ultimate goal is enjoyment, then relaxation is going to come with that. Okay? And it goes full circle because did you enjoy that dive? Yes, I got this depth. That's not enjoyment. That's enjoyment after the effect of knowing the depth. The actual dive, did you enjoy the dive? Enjoyment in the dive. Enjoyment, not depth or time. And so how do we do this? Well, if you're messing about, having a laugh with your mates, then you're going to be losing that tension. Equally well, if you don't feel safe, you're not going to feel relaxed. You're not going to be able to relax. You're not going to, and I doubt you're going to enjoy it if you don't feel safe. So safety's in there, friends are in there, but more than that, and this full circle. I want to finish this whole session off tonight is, if you are relaxed in a group of friends, enjoying yourself, looking for that enjoyment, it's going to be so easy for you to say, I'm a bit scared. Oh wow, Marcus, why are you a bit scared? Well, it's pretty dark down there. It's really dark. I'm really scared of the dark. Oh, I got a video torch and let's light it up. Or, well, I'll come with you. Or, etc., etc. But it comes from that honesty. And you're going to be more honest when you're in a group of friends that you feel relaxed around. Okay? So, seriously, comes back to the main point of no tanks training, and the training that I bang on about time and time again. Okay. Relaxation is the goal, enjoyment is the key. Alright? Or is it the other way around? You're aiming for enjoyment, but you have to have a relaxation. Right. I've just questioned my entire last 20 years of my training. Is enjoyment the goal and you need relaxation? No, it's got to be relaxation as the goal and enjoyment. They're kind of life is like a wheel and the two go together. Enjoyment, relaxation. All right. In fact, no, enjoyment's the goal. Yeah, of course it is. Because you come away and, yeah, no, of course. Kind of. Okay, so enjoyment, relaxation, and the only thing that can help that is honesty. So hopefully you guys kind of followed that there. A big up to a few of our international friends. Oliver messaged me today and said he's catching up on a few of these videos, and hopefully we'll see you again soon. We've got the dates, by the way, for FreeFest, because you wanted to come over last year for FreeFest, but let's not talk about last year. If you want to come over to FreeFest, you're welcome to do it. All the dates are on the website. So do breath hold strength exercises make sense if it's a relevant group? This question just come up. Unfortunately, I can't read Cyrillics, so I genuinely can't say this guy's name. Does breath hold strength exercises make sense? And you kind of answered your own question by putting the caveat, if it's a relevant muscle group. Yes. Effectively, when you're training in the pool and you're doing monofin exercises and you're cutting down the gaps between the dives, the recovery time, you're making the exercises harder, you're driving the muscles harder. They are breath hold exercises. If you do them outside of the water, it's exactly the same. It's just that most people haven't got a swimming pool that they can. That's Greek for Chris. Sorry, Chris. Oh, Greek. It's not Cyrillics, it's Greek, sorry. So what was I saying? Yeah, muscle groups. Yeah, so any dry training, most of the time we do dry training because we haven't got access to a pool or the sea, on our doorstep. So we're just kind of replicating, in-water exercises dry. And yeah, breath hold, strength exercises do make sense if they're the relevant muscle group. Not too much, you don't have to kind of be muscle bound, but of course you want to develop those muscles. And Dusan says, how do you cope with a fear? That's a good question. But instantly, as soon as I said it out loud, I know you knew it. How do you cope with fear? Well, fear of what? Okay, it depends what the fear is. Completely depends what the fear is. But the fact that you admit there's a fear means you can overcome it. Yeah? I can only give examples about how to get over certain fears, and they are only examples. I can't tell you until it's you, because it's so personal. And this is why I say courses don't make better freedivers, because like that fear, you can't teach to everybody how to get over fear. You just can't do it, because it depends what fear. And if you're scared of the cold thermocline layer, you got, it's different from somebody who's scared of the dark. Although they're both related to being deeper, in a cold lake in England, right, the two different things are, different answers, and it depends who you are. Why are you scared of the dark? What do you feel is going to happen in the dark? And we can talk generally, but until you're speaking to a coach directly about you and your feelings, the only way you can that's the only way you can do it. And you repeat the dive, and you repeat the dive, and you're honest. You come back to the surface and you go, okay, yeah, it was dark. I know it's dark. I was scared. I came back. So you do the dive again. Don't worry about going any further or changing anything. Just do it. Do it. And do it. There you go. So he's especially with the fear of darkness, when you're not able to see anything. Do you know where if you genuinely are that dark where you can't see where you are, that's dangerous. And we don't like dangerous. Dangerous is not the name of the game. So if you're going deep, okay, and you can't see where you are, you need a line and a lanyard. Okay? If you're in a cave, you need a diver on the surface with a torch. Okay? So again, you've pinned it down. It's a really good question. But of course, the next question is, in what situation? And your mind plays tricks on you. I tell you that. Your mind plays tricks on you. For instance, I was diving in Dar Harbour at early doors. So like this was 2007. Okay, so it wasn't that early. No, it must have been. Yeah, it must have been 2007. So Freedive Dar Harbour out there. I was diving with a couple of those guys, and I was doing a free immersion. Yeah, free immersion. Went down. Got to the arch. Turned round. Whoa, the arch, fantastic, like mind-numbingly beautiful. Whoa. And then the rope was gone. And I was like, well, that's it. And obviously, I'd been pulled free immersion and it started to sink. And the rope had snapped and fallen to the bottom of the blue hole. So I was there, quite deep, and there was no rope. That was obvious. It was just the most obvious, conclusion. So I went, well, the only thing I'm going to do is start doing no fins back up. So I did breaststroke. As soon as I kicked my legs snagged on something, and I went, oh, the rope's behind me. Of course the rope was behind me because I turned around to see the arch. But in my head, at that depth, the only conclusion was that the rope had snapped and disappeared to the bottom of the blue hole. Your mind plays tricks on you. And it literally just doing a breaststroke leg kick, bang, turned around, there's the rope. Of course there was a rope. Why would the rope snap? And I just pull back up. Right? So your mind plays funny tricks on you. Okay. So that's where fear comes in. Any tiny fear you got on the surface is 100 times bigger at the depth. Okay. So, hopefully that's good. I've answered a couple of questions, but they related exactly to what I was saying. So I'm really happy that you guys asked them. Really, lanyard. I said lanyard, depending on where you are. It's all specific. So I'll go back to where I was saying. So right at the beginning, there are only 3 things that limit a dive. There's only 3 things that actually will make you turn, and finding out which one and why it did. Okay? Because don't forget, these are all just symptoms. And the one thing that you need to help you train is honesty. And a good coach. Okay, so thanks for watching. Hope that helps. And any questions, as always, pop it in the messages, and I'll or message me directly, and I'll get back to you on that. Okay, thank you very much, and see you